founder, president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Back again for another live. Back again. Out here on the road, y'all, doing this courier thing, this side gig type thing that I be doing. I tell y'all every time when I'm in the ride. I like to let y'all know that's what it is. So if I have to go and make a run or stop the feed for any reason, you know why. All my folks who are serious subscribers already know. They don't even trip. They just be like, yep, he'll be back. You know, they know how it goes. They don't even worry about it. They dip in, they dip out, they hang around. They understand when I say I'll be right back, and they know I will be back. And a lot of times I notice that if I say, hey, I'll be right back, y'all will, I don't know if y'all wait and just, if it gives you an alert that, he's back again, he's live again. But y'all be there most of the time. Like at least one person, 2 people, 3 people. It's never a lot of people at first. It takes a while for the build up. And then we get to the 20 and all that stuff like that. And then that drops off and whatever, I honestly never, I ain't gonna say never. I don't be expecting it to just hang at 20 something. Because when I can't even get people to just, put the thumbs up most of the time. Like in a live where I had 50 people, the average amount of people to do a thumbs up is 1 to 3. That's every time. Just one to maybe 3 people out of 50 people will be like, yeah, what's up? This is great. Thank you. I like this. Just showing some respect that they were in your live and they like what you were doing, like what you was talking about, like your presence, like your energy, like whatever it is, so thank you. Man, the sun is brighter than I thought it was at the end of the day today. And I think I messed around and left my shades, at least the ones I wanted to wear. I always keep a pair somewhere. I be keeping my backup shades. These aren't the ones I necessarily wanted to wear right now. I ain't got no problem with it. I love these shades, but it wasn't the day I was going to wear these per se. I have a mood thing about my shades. Like, every pair of shades has it's a style thing. It's got an energy. You know what I'm saying? These got that little low-key flash to them with the little golden studs, if you will, whatever. And they remind me of something that the Macho Man Randy Savage would have wore back in the day. Oh yeah. One of the greatest wrestling personalities that ever lived. Oh my gosh. You remember the Macho Man? You know about some real wrestling times. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that every time I put these on, that's what I think about. That's what I think about. And they brought these types of shades back just for that. Thank you for the thumbs going up, the love going up. Must be one of my monetization nation, as I say, my people who have subscribed. Gotta be here. Oh, there's 2 thumbs up. Let me pay attention here. 2 thumbs up, 12 in the middle. What did I just say? 12 looking, 2 thumbs up. What did I tell you? That's how they do. That's how they do, man. They ain't gonna do right. They ain't gonna do right. They gonna hang around, they gonna get annoyed that you even talking about them, and they gonna dip. Because that's how they do, because they're not real people. Even if they are real people, they're not real. Real people would be like, yo, man, why am I standing here, sitting here, whatever you're doing, looking at the phone with me for this long and ain't go ahead and just say thumbs up? Yeah, I see you. Word. If I came in your live, must be here for a reason. Show some love. What's so hard about that? What's so hard about that? So here's the part where I tell y'all I'm going to be right back because I got to dip. For seconds. I'm going to be boom, boom. I got to touch a button and come right back. Hold on. And just like that. And just like that, we back. See? That wasn't nothing. I appreciate y'all hanging around, the few who did. So anyway, I was watching today, and I was thinking about I might still make an official edited video, because whenever I discuss something that needs references, I like to do an edited video so I can put in cutaways and and if you don't know the terms for editing, cutaways are whenever you're watching anybody's content on YouTube or even watching a movie or anything, and you got the main storyline going or whatever, and then you have these flash scenes for reference to something. If you're watching, the average YouTuber and somebody's making a joke and then they go to get those little clips from movies or music videos or whatever, and they'll have a little clip of Kevin Hart being like, what? Really? is that what we do? You know, something, and then it just go right back to the feed with whatever they were talking about, and then they'll have another little clip. It'll be another comedian saying something. It'll be whatever. It'll be some little, you know, whatever went viral, some little moment. Those are cutaways. So I like to do cutaways when I'm talking about content that requires you to know what I'm talking about. So, damn, they're on time today. I can't believe it. Hold on. All right, and we back just like that. We back. Oh yeah. Oh man. So I was talking about you know, editing videos, and when you're referencing something or somebody using cutaways, and it does work. I mean, some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen on YouTube is people who are masters of timing and cutaways. Because comedy, a lot of great comedy is all about, you know, it's all about timing. You know, if you wait too long to put the little moment in, it may have crossed somebody's mind, but if it didn't happen right when they was thinking it, the laughter don't hit them the same way. You know, so you got to be like right on that little second when that would be the perfect little thing to put there. The end of that verse from the song, the chorus, you know. Like I did a video a while back about, it was a gun culture video, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the responsible, safety first, legally armed peoples in this crazy society. You see the keywords I'm saying, legally armed and whatnot. And I come from a family of that. That's nothing new to me. I grew up hunting and fishing and all of that. My dad, shout out to my pops, is the #1 reason why I understand, you know, the ins and outs of weaponry. And so anyway, I was trying out a new, God dang, stay on your side of the street. Lord, you had plenty of space. I can't stand no driving ass people. Anyway, I'm talking about they, you know what I'm saying, the street is wide on both sides and they all the way over in the other side turning. Like, your car ain't that big. You're in a freaking, what the hell? Never mind. So anyway, I was trying out this new auto shotgun. Well, I say new to me. They've been out for a while, but it's a Tokarev. It's a Turkish brand, and it's pretty lethal when it works right. But they have a bad habit of jamming if you don't use the right type of ammunition. You got to get the certain type of shotgun shells, and to most people's ears who don't know nothing about, you know, shooting and stuff, they just figure, oh, you just get the right caliber, it ought to work. Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm not even like, you know, I'm not like some military head or somebody who's that deep in it, but I know a thing or two, you know what I'm saying? So I do understand that there are different types for even 12 gauge, okay? And so it kept jamming. It just kept jamming, and it was so bad. I mean, I'm talking about bad. It jammed like 4 times in this session when I was, you know, trying it out. And, you know, I asked my pops, he said, it didn't jam when I was shooting it, man. I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, it's like I said, it's brand new, and a lot of folks say when you first get a weapon, you got to break it in, you got to run it a few times, run some rounds through it, and it, you know, it takes like 5 in the clip, okay? It's like 5 in the magazine, so it's like, you know, if it's doing it right, it ought to be like do, you know. That's it. Boom, done. But no, it's like do. You know, you gotta keep throwing one out. Oh man, all kind of mess I went through. So to make it a fun video, I kept like using the old classic from back in the day, from Guy, Jam. Oh, jam. And that's all I needed. Because I know if it went any further, I'm going to end up with copyright ban, you know, and all that bullshit. Which it is bullshit. I don't care what they say, that's bullshit. Why in the hell? Okay, and if you don't know by now, I've already said this, but it shouldn't be new. When I start my video, I say this video is not for kids. They have a button we push. This ain't for kids. So if you up in here, you shouldn't be like, I mean, you know, I don't even want to hear nothing about my cousin, because I said this is a grown folk show from the beginning, goddammit. All right? Okay. Anyway, so it's jamming, and I went back to, like, you know, like I said, I love Guy back in the day. Forever Love Guy. That was one of my groups right there. That was one of the classic R&B legendary soul groups of the 90s. If you don't know about Guy, look up Guy, Teddy Riley and the crew. legends. You know, Teddy Riley, Aaron Hall, and I forget the other brother's name. It was 3 of them. Legendary group. But yeah, so every time it would jam, I had that little clip. It was a jam. Oh, jam. It's like, it had folk, everybody I sent it to was howling, laughing, because, you know, we get it. We came from that time. People I sent it to, they like my age. So everybody gets the joke, you know what I mean? And it was fun. So especially if they've ever been there and know how that feels when you shooting a weapon and it go jamming on you. Ain't nothing, it's some annoying mess, man. You know, it's like, come on now. But hey, it happens. So, you know, these are cutaways. So I thought about utilizing my cutaway skills of knowing how to do that real well and doing a video to discuss. Now, here's a big segue. It has nothing to do with what I was just last talking about. I want to make that clear. But I'm just saying, if I did it, I want to do it right. I want to reference the stuff I'm talking about. And I started thinking about how it seems like, it's funny how the legendary streamer, I Show Speed, happy birthday, Speed, brother turned 21. Y'all saw, if you're here on the channel regularly, you know, I did a little short, it's just a short, where I shouted him out, put his age, and said happy birthday. You know, I do these happy birthday shouts. That is a big thing I like to do here on ONYXCON. I started it, I guess you'd say the end of that. It ain't the first time. I probably did them before then, but I didn't do it regularly. I've made it something that's part of the channel now. Like if you look at my avatar, I purposefully have all these little emojis, and one of them is a bunch of birthday cakes on purpose because I'm trying to make that a thing people could expect from this channel. That, you know, we shout out people that have done something notable, you know, for their birthday. Because when they're alive, hey man, you know, let's face it, we lose people all the time, and there'll be legends that go. And I think last year was just a little too much for me on that, when so many people that, I mean, we're talking about people I've either worked with directly. I've been on set as an actor, you know, I'm an actor too. I've been on set for the show, The Resident. And when Malcolm Jamal Warner passed, the legend, from the Cosby Show all the way up to that, you know, because that show was one of the last shows he was a regular on. And I've been on set when he was there. I've interacted in the sense of just, hey, how you doing kind of thing. Where I never got a chance to sit down and talk with a brother. But, you know, the irony of that is I actually know somebody who knows him. Like, he's a musician too. He, you know, I say is because, you know, the spirit is forever. He's a musician too, and a poet. And there's a band that he would perform with regularly. They got started here in Atlanta. Dashiell Smith, shout out to Dashiell. That's one of my homies right there. Legendary jazz trumpeter, and let me see, what other instruments does, I think Dash plays flute too, and a couple of, but trumpet is his main thing. He's mainly a trumpeter, and he's a legend all over the world, quite frankly, but especially in ATL. He plays with a few bands. He's got his own band, he plays with other bands. Typical band culture. A lot of people, they'll play with multiple bands, you know what I'm saying, in addition to their own. So him and Malcolm had a band. It was their band. It was like they would headline shows and stuff and all that. And so, you know, when that happened, man, that hit, you know, because I just knew that through him, I was going to meet Malcolm one day. Like, you know, hey, man, Dash, man, hook that up so I can interview the brother or something like that. And he would have done that for me. It was just all, I mean, I asked him about that one day. He said, oh, man, it's just a matter of time, bro. That's all it is. Like, he busy, I'm busy. But, yeah, I'll definitely let him know about ONYXCON and everything. And so this was in planning, you know what I mean? And then stuff happens. And you're like, damn, you know? And it's bigger than, you know, my plan or anything. It's just the fact that this man should be here, period. Like, why did that happen? How did that happen? We all know how if you've looked into it, but it's sad. It's just pure SAD, pure, you know? There's no other word to describe that situation. And then there's so many other folk, like D'Angelo, legendary soul singer that we lost last year. Angie Stone, who was a part of his life, and he was a part of hers, and she was a part of his. You know, those two to go like they did. Like, damn. Man, and it's like, you know, young folk may not understand this depending, you know, of their maturity and everything. I say that because I know I got a lot of people in my audience, but for my older folk who feel me right now, man, when people be your age and they're passing, that mess with you, you know, it start making you look at your own mortality and say, man, I got to make sure whatever I want out of this life, I get it. Let me go for it. There ain't no waiting. It's now. The hell with, you know, it might, maybe, ain't no maybe, man. We gonna make this happen. That's how you get. That's how I am. That's how I've been. But that's definitely where I'm at and where I'm gonna stay for the rest of this journey. Cause it just, no matter what people say, or every day you got a million people swaying your, if you let them, swaying the way you want to live your life and everything with all this stuff we run into on social media. And I'm doing social media, so there's nowhere to avoid everybody's good opinions, bad opinions, half-ass ways of life, great ways of life, functional ways of life, totally dysfunctional ways of life. You see it all. You see this hodgepodge of how people are living, and how they think it ought to be. And everybody's, at the end of it all, as they say, as the sun is about to go down, at the end of the day, your life is yours and mine is mine, and wherever I'm going is where I'm going. It ain't got nothing to do with you, so I'm going to choose my path. Please believe it. I don't care how much influence is around. I'm going to choose my path, right? And so, back to the main thing I was going to say is that, when I was looking at the success that a young brother at 21, I Shall Speed, is having and has had and will continue to have, obviously. He's a brand in himself that is so powerful right now. And it's almost, it's fascinating, but it's almost scary at the same time, because to be, as I did, what I put into the post when I did the shout out to him, I used the song from Nina Simone, Young, Gifted, and Black. Oh, what a wonderful thing to be. If you ain't never heard it, look it up. That was on purpose, because I'm saying, man, this young man got his whole life ahead of him. And there's so many things and so many people and so many ways and types that are going to try to sway his path. And he's very confident. You can tell that already. He's very headstrong. He ain't nobody easy to sway. He got his own plan. He's got his own way. But the only parts of it that bother me is knowing that in the type of humor he does, because he has a certain brand of humor he naturally does. And it goes back. It's very old. It's not new. It's been going on for centuries. And it's slapstick in its most innocent definition of what it is. It's called slapstick comedy. It goes back to the Stooges, the Three Stooges. If you don't know what I'm talking about right now, young folk, please look it up. Especially if anything in you wants to be that kind of streamer, or you ever aspire to be a comedian or anything. It's about me as a performer, as an actor, and I've done comedic work, and I'm willing to do comedic work, and I can be funny. I'm not a comedian. I don't ever go out on that limb to say, hey, I'm here to make you laugh. Because then people are, all right, well, make me laugh. Well, motherfucker, I ain't in the mood to make you goddamn laugh, but I'll beat you. It's like, I ain't in the mood to make you laugh right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that made you laugh. I don't know. For some people, it's scared to hell. Wait a minute, where'd that come from? Why is he cussing? So, I ain't trying to be a comedian. I ain't trying to be a comedian. It's different if you say it. You can be comedic, but don't claim it. Because that's a path. That's an artistic path. It's an artist. And I respect that as an artist. I know my lanes as an artist, right? And so, whether he knows it or not, he's doing slapstick. And at the same time, the sad history of that when it comes to black people doing slapstick is there's a lot of racism attached to that. There's a long history of what they used to call minstrel shows. And some of what this young brother does is like modern day minstrels type work. Now, anybody who knows the history of comedy wouldn't be offended by what I just said. If he even knows, he might not even be offended. He probably don't care. Shit, he got his millions. He gonna keep making them, so he gonna be all right regardless. But it also carries a certain weight, stigma, and expectation if you choose that path of comedy. And he's already faced it. I saw the video or clips of stuff. I couldn't sit through too much of that. It pissed me off too bad. With him going in countries where it's a majority of a white presence and they're on some racist shit and people trying to call him a monkey and all this garbage. And I'm like, oh my gosh, hell no. Here we go, Make sure the dog is on a leash, but is the leash steady? You good over? All right. back in, we back in. So as I was saying, we back in, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thanks to the one that hung around. Must be one of my subscribers. Who you be? Hit the comments. Say it with your chest. But anyway, I was saying about, with Speed, how he do his thing. Like, yeah, the dog reminded me to make this joke. The dog at the last place I stopped, he was over there. So one of his things he'll do, he'll be barking and carrying on. That's one of his signature sound effects things he'll do. People want him to do it where he goes. And I did it the minute I saw him ever do it. Okay, he's an athlete. Deion Sanders made the phrase that's been around, super popular, made it a global phrase when he said, he got that dog in him. He got that dog, you know what I'm saying? Them boy got the dog in him. Basically saying, you got that aggression in you that never quit, always here to win, winning spirit, right? So that ain't nothing new. That ain't nothing new, all right? You know what I'm saying? Here in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, there's a stadium in College Park, and on the side of that stadium in downtown College Park, if you from Atlanta, if you ever been over there, you know what I'm talking about. And it say on the side of it ain't the size of the dog in the fight, it's the dog in the, what is it? It's not the size of the dog, it's the heart of the dog in the fight, or something like that. It's meant to encourage that part of just no matter what, just keep going and win. So when he do the whole, somebody be barking, he go all back to him and all in their face. I get it. But does the world really get it? Now, you can't satisfy everybody before I answer my own question, right? You can't always appeal to, make sense to, or whatever, everybody. So I know with someone at the level of fame and fortune as someone like Speed, he could care less if anybody gets it or not. And especially at 21, you can't have a young man have that much money at 21 and expect him to give a darn about much of anything anybody else got to say if every time he goes live, he's able to get tens of thousands of subscribers, keep his endorsements with all these major companies, and if acting a fool here and there, and as I said, the certain type of comedy he does can sometimes be minstrel in style, he could care less. To this young generation, they look at all that like, man, that's a bunch of stuff y'all used to worry about. I don't care. I'll do anything as long as it pay my bills and I can keep this Ferrari and have this mansion and buy another mansion and all the girls seem to want you and blah, 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 blah. And I did the whole list, right? You know what I mean? But the funny thing about life, and this is why I'm really, universe bless that child. I send good energy to his path with hopes that he gets more mentorship as he gets older, that he gets more people who really understand how it is out here as you get older, who understand the history of the type of comedy you're doing, who understand that no matter what you think of yourself, other people who have more power sometimes than you have with your money. This is why I tell this story all the time, and I will not stop saying it. It does not go money, power, respect. That is the opposite. It is not supposed to go in that order. I don't give a damn about the song that Lil Kim and the Locks and DMX, rest his soul, and all these great legendary MCs got on and showed their ass with a good beat. Yeah, fresh song. To this day, if I hear it, I get a little crunk. And every time I get to the chorus, when Lil Kim wants to say, I say, respect, power, money, respect, power, money, respect, power, money. When you're living right, respect, power, money, when you can sleep at night, respect, power, money, respect, power, money, respect, power, money. I ain't gonna stop saying it, goddammit. I don't give a fuck who the fuck it bothers. Because the only ones that's bothering is the bitch ass motherfuckers who support that devilish other way. It's evil. And it's ass backwards. And it will not ever show up as being backwards at first. It always looks fly in the beginning. How many people's lives do we have to watch to see how this goes? Child superstars on sitcom TV shows that most of them, 90% of them, grow up to be all twisted in the head, having weird perspectives on life because they were around adults mostly when they should have been around kids and able to be a kid. We done seen it time and time and time and time again. Michael Jackson, hello. Different Strokes, the brother who played Willis, Bridges, hello. I could just go on and on. I could go on and on. And y'all know it's true. I ain't talking about nothing of that. I ain't making this up. It ain't about my point. It's just the truth. My point is the truth. My point is just I'm just putting it in front of you so you can add it up and say, damn, that does always equal that, don't? Yes, it does. Now, how much worse you think it is when somebody not even on a show, they streaming and they got more fame than most people on a show. See, the celebrity has changed. They say that in the future, YouTube and anything of that sort, TikTok, all of these things, they have become the new networks. They already are. They just aren't to the point yet where it's literally literal, but it may as well be. It's the new major mega networks. It's not about NBC, CBS. Sure as hell ain't about that. That's old TV. I mean, that stuff still exists and it still wins. I ain't saying that stuff ain't power. It still got power. It still got power. Because some of them own some of this other stuff that y'all don't even know they own. Disney owns stuff that y'all don't even know they own. I learned that from being in the biz. See, there's a lot of shows I learned that I really, and it's not hidden. It's just they don't promote it because we so big. We don't have to tell you about everything we own. It ain't about mentioning, man. Shit, yeah. But a lot of stuff is under their umbrella. You see? And a lot of stuff on these streaming networks will be under their umbrella. Because as endorsements come and they start, it's all about shares and profits and all of that with these types. So if they can get enough of endorsements on somebody like a Speed or whatever, he could get to the point if he signed the wrong contract where, you know, your show is your show, but it may as well be Nike's show. It may as well be Puma's show. It may as well be, and I'm not dissing these, you know, these companies in the sense that some of them do good shit. I don't got no problem with them per se, you know. But it just depends on how the contract's written. It depends on what they want you to do. I saw him on one where he was in his recent mega tour. What a tour, good gracious. I watched at least, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes of Namibia today. Had a little time waiting on something and got into that, watched that and was like, wow. Then I watched a little bit of the Ghanaian one. Clips mostly. I still got to see like really watch it if I wanted to see certain parts. There's a part that he went with the one of the kings, and I said, okay, I want to see that because they had him ragged down, boy. They went and got him the real Adinkra cloth. I'm talking about he got one that was like, yo, that's dope. Like, I want that. Like, you know. I was like, man, this young brother is just being, he's everywhere he go, man. He's the guy. He's got, for young, and his audience is young. These are like kids to like college age. Literally kids, like freaking 5-year-olds up to college. That I would say that's his main market. You know, he's got others too. Everybody else still white. Everybody else is aware. Whether it's, you know, we ain't necessarily fans at my age per se, but we're aware, we acknowledge, you know, and if you like me, I'm like, hey, I'm proud to see you doing what you do to get to that level, but I'm concerned at the same time, like I say. I'm concerned. Because it's funny how he done been all these other places. But the minute a black man takes Africa serious enough to put it on his content and show the world, even with the minstrel show in full effect, which is why I still got a problem with how you're presenting Africa or any place. Because it don't matter everywhere you go, you do the same minstrel show. But I'm saying, I know you're not goofy all the time. I know you're not, even as young as you are. You're a very smart young man. I watched I didn't watch all of it. I watched about 3/4 of his Club Shay Shay interview. I couldn't take it after a certain point because, you know, it was a different type of minstrel show he put into that. He was talking over Shannon at a certain point. I'm like, whoa, no, wait a minute, young brother. Because Shannon better than me. I would be like, hey, hold up now. I know you're doing what you do for the cameras, young brother, but you gonna respect me in my house. Like, he would have got real grown daddy son real quick, uncle in a heartbeat. ain't gonna no, and you ain't gonna be able to ar your way out of either. Goddamn it, you gonna shut the fuck up and let me talk on my show. And he was not. If you ever watched it, he was had some more. I was like, what? Come on, y'all, youngin, don't do that. Don't do that. And Shannon's such a nice dude. He let him get away with it. As you can see it in, man. As big as Shannon is, and as much of a NFL legend, hello, the man was on the field, okay? And he said, they were talking about something about athleticism, and, you know, he was challenging Shannon on everything. Like, I could do that. I could do, like, pretty much like, I could do anything you did. You know, that's part of his gimmick. I'll challenge anybody. I'll take on anybody. Yeah, okay. Now, where it's funny is when he does that, and he knows he can't take the person. And then the person, like, there's some guy in his Africa tour who was some type of, I don't know what he was, honestly. But I think the guy may have been an MMA star, and he was talking ish to him, and the guy just kind of tapped him on the chest, and he went down like, oh, like, you know, he being silly with it, but you can tell, you know, he really did feel that, like, God damn, man, what the hell? He ain't doing nothing but tap me, and that shit hurt. Like, yeah, man, like, come on now. I mean, yeah, you muscular, you got it. Yeah, you got it, man. I done seen this WWE. I did a reaction to it. I was impressed. I was like, damn, this young brother doing flips. He doing lucha. I love lucha libre. He doing lucha moves, man. He loved the backflip. Backflipping off the top rope, man, that's heavy duty, man. And making his mark, landing on the cue, going through all of the paces, doing it like he done some training. I'm impressed. I'll take nobody's credits where you get them, but you're not going to do stuff in certain ways on a disrespectful tip and not get called for it. So, like I said, it ain't for me to call. I just say if I were Shannon Sharp, there ain't no way in never hell. It would have got to a certain point where I was like, hey, time out. Cameras on and everything. You know your parents taught you better than that. You're going to respect your elders. You're going to come a certain way or not come at all. You were invited here, and even if there's money involved, money don't come first. Respect gonna come first. And you gonna acknowledge that. Because if we had to get into it, if you did embarrass me on camera, you better look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. So why would we go there? We ain't gonna go there. We're gonna keep it nice and friendly and have some fun and be grown men speaking to more grown men. Because at the time, he wasn't even grown, really. You know? The only grown man speaking to this young man wanting to be a bigger man. Just be respectful, man. And that's the problem with this generation and generations even beyond. Like most folk in their 20s, even to their 30s nowadays, ain't got no real respect bar. They gone. They're all over the place. They don't even know what I'm talking about when I say respect. Their version of respect is based on fear. They base everything on, I can kick your ass, I got a gun. Trick, that ain't what we talking about. And you'll never have enough for when a real man enters the equation. You don't even understand what we talking about. Well, what I'm talking about, will have your own people come check you. I won't have to say nothing. I always jokingly say in ATL when people talk about hood shit, I say, man, with all the hoods I worked in, ain't gonna be no thugs coming to get you if I ever got a problem with you. I'm gonna send your grandma. Cause I know her. I used to work with seniors. Like seriously. Like I know your auntie rapper. I know your granddad. I know your uncle who would be like, you said you disrespected who? Joseph Wheeler? Oh hell no. I ain't gonna have to say nothing. It's just gonna be real quiet from there forward. And I know I could push those buttons. I just don't. If I wanted to, I could push some of these buttons and just to say something about some things that get on my nerves. But that ain't the way I want to be remembered over some little. That's petty shit to me. That's booger. That's boo boo. You know, we ain't here for that, man. We on another level for what we trying to be in the ultimate sense of it as the story continues. And somebody might look and say, man, what you talking about, man? Every day you say you doing courier work. Because people base everything off of what you're doing, not what you've done. They don't understand, again, that's not respect. They don't understand respect. They don't understand anybody can be in a situation where there was a time I had this, now I don't, so I have to rebuild. I'm in a rebuilding stage, and I might have to take a job that's way less than what I'm worthy of, or whatever I got to do to get back to where I should be in life. I've hit some roadblocks. I had some stumps, but ain't nothing gonna stop me. And I do mean nothing, because I'm destined. And that's between me and the universe. And I've already been chosen, so I know what I'm here for. Now, what makes it frustrating between you and the universe is when you're looking at your own timeline and saying, well, damn, why can't today be the day? Because I'm tired of waiting when I still see all these other people seem like everything's so easy for them. Yeah, because they dancing with, you know, I'm not religious, but for what the phrase means, they dancing with the devil. I said devil to be funny, but yeah, devil. They dancing with the devil. Yeah. They dancing with the devil. And it always ends the same way. Every time the truth comes out, it will always be revealed that if you get that money first, you will get pimped. The power you think you have ain't shit, and no one truly respects you. It always goes that way. It will always go that way. I don't care how fly it seems with the money on the table and all of the stuff that gets bought and how people move. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. It doesn't add up to what people think it does. And that's where I'm saying I have my problem with all that flippant, fast-paced, hype, without context, without respect. And another thing I had a big problem with, to just round it all up and be done with it, watching the footage from Africa, of Speed in Africa, there's a lot of really unique cultural moments he had an opportunity to participate in, and he made light of the moment and made little goofy jokes that I'm like, man, again and again, always talking to people much older than him, and they just letting him slide, because obviously, you know, you got to remember too the poverty scale in some of these places. Some of these places, for the money he has, these people are willing to take a few bumps on the chin, jokes about who they are, silly little references and things to get the little bit of money he may have thrown at them with his business at this stage, because he has a staff. You don't have 20 bodyguards walking with you everywhere you go in any country in Africa if you can't afford that. You got to afford all that muscle and brawn to be, you know, ready to jump in front of a bullet, a knife, a crazy person just swinging at you on the street. Because trust, I bet you that has happened and you just don't see it on camera. I can see the little moments where, you know, even though it's supposed to always be live, I see the little bumps in the moments where they like may have had to clip something and then come right back. You know, yeah. And most of the stuff is staged anyway. Now, it's staged, I can tell it's staged in a very, what I consider very dangerous way about doing things, where you are dealing with the general public. You are dealing with whoever said, I'll come do this, I'll come do that. And they may have auditioned. I feel like there might be an audition involved that's about as rinky-dink and silly as, speak of another one that's wild, but Drewski, the comedian from Atlanta, from up on the north side of things, and you know how he did that, whatever it was, records show, where he act like he's the executive of a record label for rapping and stuff, and all these people come on like a talent show showing what they can do, and most of them ain't got no real talent. They just weird and freaky and nasty, and he makes jokes out of it, and it makes it hilarious, whatever. I guarantee you there's probably an audition everywhere that Speed goes, just like that, because every person that their security allows near him has already been chosen. It's not random. It's not. When he turns around and acts like, oh, what is this? Who are you? What are you doing? And they all in his face, and ain't nobody getting that close to the talent, the money, literally the living money walking around. This young man is making, I saw a thing that said Speed makes an average of anywhere from the lowest of $800,000 to $3 million monthly on YouTube alone. That's not counting his endorsements. That's not counting the endorsements. Like he's got Pringles, he eating Pringles. Talking about, give me the Pringles, give me. You ain't yelling out the name of no company if it ain't certified money in the bank. We got that. We counting that. We got that money. That's not random. I just like those, so I'm gonna say it out loud. No. That's a sponsor. He's got that endorsement. He's got, from what I've read, I don't know how many of these are still active, but I looked it up and saw that he had Puma on board, that he may have Nike on board, that he had, it's one of these power drinks, you know, sport drinks, something makes sense. He's an athlete, you know, whatever. Okay, so he's got, man, one estimate said 20 million a year net worth, current net worth. Another one said 56 million. I'll get a young brother up to 80 and headed for 100 million easily. After this Africa tour, he'll hit 100 million. Why? Because there'll be so many companies in Africa with extreme wealth begging him to come back. He already said this was part one. He's going to do a part two. I guarantee you there'll be so many major companies on the continent, countries he did go to and countries he hadn't even been to yet, in the inbox saying, yo, we'd like to work with you. We're willing to do this, 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 and this. I mean, you got rappers who've been to certain countries in Africa, like the famous story. It was funny as hell. It was scary, but funny at the same time. Fat Joe talked about, if you never heard him tell this story, it's hilarious. And he'd have to tell it with detail. I'm not even gonna pretend I remember all the details, but I remember the gist of it. And basically, he went to one of these countries. I went to an area in what I think is now Democratic Republic of Congo. And I think it was Congo. I may be wrong. I know it was Central Africa. And he said there was a warlord chief that ran everything in that area who invited him, paid all this money to get him there. And after he did the concert, him and a few other rappers got stuck there for months, and they're feeding them well, partying with them, sending out the best girls to them and everything, all the best liquor, anything you want. But you ain't leaving. And he's like, Chief, like, yo, I got to get back to America. I got other dates. He's like, no, my friend, I'll pay you more than they're paying. He wanted to basically make these rappers his pet. You're my entertainment. You're going to stay here. I like you. You're going to stay here and entertain me. And he said, I can't remember how he said he got out of it, but some way, somehow, I can't remember the exact way it ended, but something happened where maybe somebody back home paid off the warlord for what he was going to pay to keep him there, to satisfy him letting them go. But he was literally, not at gunpoint per se, but you better believe there was guards all around him with guns and shit. So they intimidated because you can't have yours there. This ain't America. Hello. All right. So all you badasses that think everything is all about a gun and you going to shoot everything in the world that comes at you. When your ass travel, unless you have special licenses to carry weaponry, and even if you do, you can't bring what y'all be having in America. You can't bring your closet with that damn bazooka and them other 5,000 guns. You done bought 20 guns every year since you was in your teens because you're a gun fanatic. You ain't bringing none of that shit overseas. None of it. Your ass is stuck. You're gonna learn some real human skills and how to talk through some things and work things out in a peaceful way. You're going to get off all that hot ass energy of you so bad. And if you ain't got no fisticuffs, even if you do, you're going to get off that. Because guess what? Motherfuckers been fighting. They ain't fighting they ain't counting the fights they had in a year. It's like, how many did I have yesterday? In some of these places, man, they ain't scared of you. Ain't nobody scared of you, man. You tough because you been doing your push-ups on your knuckles. This motherfucker grind their knuckles on a damn machine and hope it rot and crust over so it can get harder. I mean, it's a different level of poverty, man, in some of these places. I'm joking, but I am serious because I've seen some things with my own eyes when I was in places, and I said, whoa. Like, this a different level over here. It's different, man. It's different. So, all that tough ain't shit. Just kill all that. It don't mean nothing. And, I just done seen it so many ways, so many styles of bull with these people. And that takes me back to a concern for safety for a person like Speed, where he's moving right now. I really hope he's going to change his security detail, not the guys themselves, because they do a good job from what I can see. It's just not enough of them. You're too big at this point. You can't even roll with just 20. You need, like, his entourage. When I saw, maybe it's not enough of what I'm seeing because it's only what's close to him on camera. Of course, he's the subject. So, but when I try to count the cars in the caravan, I mean, at max there's 10 anywhere you went. No, brother, you got to roll where you shut down lanes. You got to have that presidential style thing going when you out there. That's really what you're gonna have to have. And then he likes to sit on the top of a car with a sunroof and have his legs dangling in the car, or sometimes he be on the side of the car riding and doing random shit. I'm like, man, no, that ain't it for where you at in life right now. You're not at that stage. You've surpassed that a long time ago, quite frankly. Your security detail got to look a lot different. It's gonna get you to the point where you're gonna really have to ask yourself how bad you like what you're doing and the way you're doing it, because you can keep doing it, but you're going to have to change some things up, man. It's not smart what I'm seeing. The worst thing I saw today watching Namibia, he was in Namibia, and this obviously handpicked. The guy was chosen. Hell, they probably even paid for the little poster he ran up holding in his hand. He runs up next to the caravan while they riding through some part of, I think it was Windhoek. I know only that one town because even though I haven't yet to go to the continent, I was researching Namibia at one time. I met a honey online who was one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen in my life, quite frankly. She was insanely beautiful. And she was in Windhoek. And I was making plans like, I don't care what else I got planned this year. I'm going to figure out my way to get to you. But then I learned, too, how flakiness is not just an issue in America with the dating situation. It's a global catastrophe, okay? But I won't even tell that story right now. It's for another time. Needless to say, I didn't get to Namibia when I thought I was going to be going that year. But I did a lot of research about it, so I know enough about some of the hot spots and the main places tourists go. So I think he was in Windhoek, if I had to guess. I didn't hear him say it, but and I wish he had said it more often because people like to hear their town. You know, if you're really in the place, yeah, yell it out. Say but maybe I take that back. Maybe that's part of the security detail. Like, yo, we're live. So even though there's thousands of people seeing you on the top of the car riding right now, maybe it's not to be said exactly where we're at right now. Respectfully, I understand that if that's part of what you're doing. But anyway, he's in this major city area, and to my knowledge, Windhoek is the biggest city in the country. So I know it's the capital, I believe, if I remember right. And there's only one other city that's on a beach that's really beautiful too. That is, to my remembrance, and I can't remember the name of that one. The only other place that is like really, really significantly city, if you will, or tourist ready and welcoming. You know, other than that, it's a lot of wildlife, real safari, and small townships where if you don't know nobody, what the hell you over there for, you know, kind of thing, right? So, and there's a lot of poverty too, where folk can get jacked. Matter of fact, the young lady I was talking to, I'll never forget, that was part of why we stopped being able to stay constant in conversation, because while we were talking, she had gotten robbed and beat up messing around in a neighborhood she wasn't supposed to be in. That broke my heart because I was mad as hell, because I mean, I don't even know this woman that well, but I was ready to, you know, wish I could do something and couldn't do nothing. And I'm just over here hearing this horrible story about how somebody gonna hit a woman and take her purse and took her phone and all this crazy. They got, you know, hoods are hoods everywhere. You understand? And phew, oh, wow. Yeah, but that, anyway, like I said, I wasn't gonna get into that story. But but just saying that story to imply, yo, ish can go down, right? And for what I saw, Speed is out there with his team, and there's a guy runs up, like I say, chosen one. I want to race you. He's looking like, wait a minute, what's he got? And of course, he done already known who was the next guy or woman or whatever he's supposed to interact with. So he's pointing them out, and they slow the caravan down. He gives the guy, the guy holds up some poster he done made up with, shows a picture of him and the other guy on it already saying, we're going to race. Yeah, right. Y'all probably printed the posters for him. He was the approved guy who's going to meet with me at that time. Because everything, he's watching security, they're always saying, we gotta go. Or sometimes he's the one pushing. All right, we gotta go. We're gonna miss our next. We're gonna miss the next meetup. Like, they had these people scheduled along the route to come up and do goofy stuff, whatever stuff, and then it leads to the next little thing where he's hyperactively going in and out of places and meeting these random, not really random, planted people, right? So the guy, at first he's like, well, show me what you got. Race now. And the guy takes off running. He's like, he's slow. Chat, what y'all think? Should I race him? He's slow, chat. I don't know, he's slow. So they go miles down the road as if they done left the guy. But who shows up again? Miraculously. Like all of the people who he ever leaves when the caravan is moving. They never go enough miles that a person couldn't walk or run it. And they get there every time, or drive it, whatever they got to do. They get there and they're back again at the moment they're supposed to be. He's interacting with the crowd. He's waving to the people like, you know, old school presidential caravan in a parade, which that, I don't, like I said, I ain't trying to put nasty thoughts in nobody's evil's heads if they out there thinking this kind of bullshit, because we don't need no more mess happening to our great people with so much talent. But I'm saying we know how many presidents in the past have been taken out, or people of great measure of all levels, but from being so out in the open in parade route types, it's just not, it made me nervous. Every time he does that shit, he get on top of the car, I get fucking nervous. I'm just like, God damn, young boy. If I was the security guy, the biggest guy he always talks to, this dark-skinned brother with cornrows, I mean, he always got on shades, he's a real big dude. And I heard him talk for the first time in this video today. I think he's from UK, from his accent. Man, I'd be the Yankees little young ass, like, hey, man, I know I work for you, but bro, I'm here to protect you and keep you alive. And more than likely, you know, his mama and everybody else in his family, I ain't gonna have that on my heart. You gonna have to sit in the car, bro. I know what you're doing. It's your show. You can fire me if you want, but today you gonna sit in the car because there's too much going on out there. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. Like, the crowd was just way too hyped, and I don't see enough of what he would need around him. Like, you need something with walls around you, not a regular SUV. You need a damn, what do they call them things? Almost like them party buses that have the open sides with a roof over it, so that people can still be standing around you, ready for action. If anything in the crowd that they're noticing that you don't see, they own it. Click, clack, pop, pop, and move. You know, it ain't gonna be no, oh, I didn't see, I didn't know, wow, wait a minute, somebody was on the top of a building. I mean, like, and all of that, and quite frankly, if that's the way you roll it, even that needs to be known. You need to be like, oh, by the way, y'all, you see my guys up on the top of these roofs? Yeah, they with me. You know, you got to let the world know, man. You're at that level now. You need to let these mofos know. Man, I'm out here with an unmonetized channel, and I still get goofy ass trolls. I don't feel no physical fear from no damn trolls on here, but I don't take none of that lightly. Because I know that's the sick old mentality that can turn into the idiot that follows you and trolls in person, or is really some sicko who is on some stalker-ish that's going to end up missing if they keep playing. You know, I don't take none of that lightly, man. I don't take none of that lightly. But I see how these younger folk who think they're invincible, they take everything lightly. They don't think nothing can happen to them. I'm like, man, oh, man, y'all make me nervous. That make me, the anxiety, everybody always yelling anxiety. I can only watch Speed for so long. First of all, the way he move around and stuff make you anxious. Like, damn, bro. I know I get it. You're Speed, so you got to keep it. Ooh, I got it. But you're not absorbing anything. You got moments to meet up with people's cultures and have really great information exchange. Like, you're seeing things that some people deserve to see in a lifetime they will never see, because they're curious about it. They always were into some of this stuff. You're just, what is this? Every time you don't never know what it is. And then once you're told, you playing with the word, you mispronouncing it, trying to be funny, and it's not funny. Okay? Because I hear you say other words and get it right the first time, and everybody cheers you on when you singing and dancing with them, and you're saying the chants and stuff. I'm like, some of the shit is choreographed. Y'all done already done the dance together. So when we meet you along the route, we know it's gonna look good because we gonna all sing and dance together, and it's gonna look so flowing and natural. Yeah, like, man, you ain't been doing these dances all your life. I know we all black and we got rhythm. Yeah, hell yeah, we'll catch on quick. I ain't saying that, depending on our rhythms and our propensity to dance, but still, and that's anybody who likes to dance. There's white folk who can dance too. There's all kind of people who can dance, Asians, everybody. If you really like dancing, if you feel rhythm, right? It's an individual thing. Culturally, yes, we definitely got more of a thing for that, but it ain't automatic. So I know he taking classes with these people. He having sessions. They doing auditions. They doing rehearsals. It may not be the way he moves. He ain't doing a lot of stuff. But it ain't completely cold. Like, first time ever. No, and even the way they interact with him, it's like, it's way too. They done got all of their star jitters out and starstruck energy. Cause these people could be fans too. You can see some of them are fans. And they don't want to come off like that when they get in front of him. So they've been around him a little bit. Even if it was just a first hand, shake a hand, take a picture, got to keep it to yourself, sign this NDA. I'm in the biz. I've been on shows. I know how this fucking goes. There's no such thing as reality show, okay? There's no reality. There's made up reality. It's happening. It's in real time. The rest of that, the crowd around the car and the camera, that's real. Like I said, that's immediate concern, danger, consideration. Everybody's not a danger, but there's gonna be some fools amongst them that don't like you or want to rob you. Hell, the one guy he races today on the video in Namibia, he says, "What do you want? If I'm racing, what do you want?" And the guy holds up a bag of something. You couldn't even tell what was in the bag. Speed looks at it, he say, "I don't want your money. I don't need no, like, why would you dare say something about money?" The man making millions in US. He says, "I want," what he said, "What do you want from me if you win?" The guy says, I want 10,000 USD. That's all I want, 10,000. What that would be in Namibia, I understand. He's like, "Man, please, you could pay for the next 5 years of my life." I mean, it may not stretch that far, but if you know how to, manage some money, yeah, that could stretch a long damn way. A hell of a long way, right? Excuse me. I was like, man, I understand his passion why he said that. He said, "Shit, I want 10,000. I'm in America, got it." So I understood that. But it was funny because then Speed's like, no, you ain't getting no 10,000 from me. 10,000 what? Man, no, man, I'm not giving you no money. I'll race you, but I ain't giving you no money. So I don't know what he said he would do. Like, maybe take a picture with him, do something on his phone or some shit. I don't know. They said something. I couldn't even make out what they were saying. And they're lining up for the race, right? They're doing their little false starts to warm up, both of them. And the crowd, when the security is trying to part the crowd, this is what drove me crazy, because this is like the 4th, 5th time I've seen this. I've watched him a few times. He raced somebody in Nigeria. It was a young lady. That's right. It was a girl at this high school or something. I don't know what that was. And every time the person is all hype and they're aggressive and they want a rematch and they never want to take the loss because, of course, he's going to beat them. But I don't get why, with the amount of security he's got and the money he has, at this stage, and again, I keep saying at this stage, you need some damn rollout. I don't know what they call them, but I've seen them. They exist. They are like when you put up partitions and you have the little belt that comes, it's a reel inside the top of it that rolls out, and you link them together, and that becomes the barrier of you can't pass this. Like when you're on a red carpet and they have those, the things I'm talking about to keep the crowd back. That's the line. Now, if the crowd crosses it, you know why you got socked in the jaw by the security. And it ain't gonna be no, "Hey man, you can't hit them." The fuck we can't. By law and by my license as a security agent of this talent, this is the legal line of defense that if you cross, you can get knocked the hell out. That's how that goes in that. And I've been in situations where I was on red carpets and I could see how it's serious. Like, they're not playing with paparazzi and all that. It's not a game, right? And people don't even see sometimes what happens off camera, right? So when I see somebody like Speed being who he is, you've got all the right ingredients. You just you're not doing it right. His security people should have, because with the crowds he dealing with, he couldn't put up the little standing post on the weights with the links. That wouldn't even work. He just needs 2 guys on each side with a very long, what they have, these handheld ones. I know they exist. And you grab whatever the little edge of the belt is and start rolling it out, and the thing could be this wide. It could be like a 12, it could be a foot wide, right? To make a significant understood barrier, right? And I go on one end of that and you go on the other end of that, and it's already the predetermined length of the race. If the race is however many yards or whatever, you got that much of that tape to pull out. I'm holding my end. It's like a tape measure. You holding your end, I'm holding my end. First of all, when that thing gets let go, it's already a weapon, because as it's coming back, it's coming so fast that anybody who ain't gonna stand behind the line properly gonna get sliced by that hard material, because you're gonna have it made out of something like damn, make that shit like that thick ass, oh my gosh, it's like a woven plastic nylon. I can't even explain. It's like carbon fiber, but it's like a reel of it, And then you could put the logos of his sponsors printed on it. Oh, they love this. Y'all listening to me? I'm helping y'all make money now if you're listening. Anybody, if y'all already there or Speed see this, may need to hear this. You know, just send me a check for this great idea. All right, thanks. 10,000 USD. That's what I need. Okay, that's seriously what I need right now. Shit. And pull that thing out, right? Get it the length of the race. One guy on one end, one guy on the other, holding it taut against the crowd that's steady trying to come across. What I saw, people were crossing over like this when they get, all they're doing is by manpower, spreading their arms and pushing people back and saying, no, 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 you can't. Hey, step back, step back. That's bullshit. People don't respect step back, and no one likes to be pushed. I don't care how little they are. I don't care how big you are. If anybody gets pushed enough and they little, but they got a you know, chip on their shoulder and a knife in their pocket or a gun, hello. And yeah, I know you got yours too, but why are you provoking to have to deal with that? That's not the way to handle that situation. You need to have an understood barrier, because people only understand barriers when they are understood. The only thing that's understood is a non-human barrier. It cannot be human. If it's human, people want to, you person like me, fuck you. I want to cross over. My friend didn't make it to the same side as me when they parted the way for the race, and I want to be standing next to them. And this is how people are thinking. Oh, hold on, let me just run over there because my friend's got my bag of chips or my water or what, and I want that when I'm watching. Like, people are so self-absorbed, they don't give a damn about your race, Speed. They don't give a shit. They don't give a damn about no order. And I can already see, let him have a race one time where somebody gets past the guards and grabs him and slows him down and makes him sprain his ankle or trip and scuff his knee or bust his knee, because they be running on concrete in the city and shit. These ain't no real, you know, orthodox races with any kind of safety measures at all, goddamn. They just randomly on the block. Let's do one. Let's go. Yeah, okay. Well, you're going to get random ass stunt level scrapes and bumps, and if you ain't a professional stunt person, and I don't care how much WWE training you done had and how much MMA and boxing and all, none of that's gonna matter if you twist your ankle or fuck around and tumble on some concrete in the middle of a city with a bunch of fans that just want to touch you, because they're gonna mob you. And even if they're not trying to hurt you, if 20 of them are trying to grab you at the same time, and a bunch of screaming girls trying to grab your muscles because they think you cute and all that, man, you can get fucked up. Ask any star that's ever lived through it and tell them stories. I done heard the stories. There's people who've been beat up basically by their fans. Not even like on purpose. Like, it's not even like punches are thrown. It's just bodies are getting mashed against each other in every direction, and somebody's elbow or hand or whatever hits you. Your eye get gouged. Your anything, man, it can get real fucking stupid. And y'all not doing it right. Y'all not doing it right. I'm saying, his security detail need to be, it don't have to be changed. It's got to be upgraded. And I will say, them goofy ass, same age as him friends, like the one who threw the cake in his face on his birthday, I didn't like that, and I didn't think that was part of the script. I don't think he liked it either. I looked at his face through that whole moment, because, you know, being an actor, I could tell he's good enough of an actor, he played it off. But that wasn't in the script. That dude was not supposed to shove that cake in his face like that. That was some fucked up shit. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. And then later, he was still talking about it. They were at some ice cream place, and the guy's trying to save face, talking. It was like I don't know who the guy is. I don't know if he's Latin. I don't know if he's Asian and white. He doesn't look black. He looks like he could be black and white. I mean, he definitely looks very, very mixed. And he's light, and he's got long, wispy hair. And he's always with him. He's one of his main guys, maybe one of his bros from back in the day. But I thought to myself, why'd you see that dude end up missing from the crew in future videos? I guarantee you, he gonna get fired from staff. I guarantee you, because that moment right there was very weird. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's supposed to be your boy? Like, I know that's on some prank shit, and they do prank type material sometimes, but you got cake on top of, the cake hit everywhere. It got in his ears, it got on his equipment, it got on his phone, the one he always got on his wrist. He's looking at it constantly on the wristband to see his numbers and all that. And even that, I'm gonna say this about that. That drives me crazy. I'm like, bruh, your numbers are going up, man. Come on now, come on now. Has anyone told you that's not for camera? That does not look well on camera to constantly be looking. You're not really talking to the chat. So acting like it did, again, your game done stepped. You've changed, man. You're on a different level in the league now. You're on a different level in the league, just like I'm on a different level tonight. It's time to go home. So let's go. You're on a different level in the league, man. You don't need to be doing any more of this. I'm always checking my phone. I got to make sure my numbers. Bro, you bigger. You know your numbers going up. Let somebody tell you that. You got enough people in the entourage, and you're constantly asking them, what's this, what's that? And then, oh, we're going to switch to the, he had like a GoPro on a stick, a selfie style stick with some advanced cording to it and all this stuff. I'm like, man, whoever those people are the people that need to be yelling you the number all the time. We're up to 62,000. Chat is up to 62,000 on subs. Oh man, we did it! Woo! And you do your roar, that's all you need to be worried about is when's the next time to do a roar and a woo and all this goddamn. Hey, who's got it? What bag is it in? Wait a minute, what the? Why are you asking me that now? Man, you should never be in a position making $3 million a month, having to do that on camera. You got to change some of your crew. You got to sweep some folk out. It's time to elevate. It's time to break some hearts. It's time to make a couple of people mad that thought, oh man, I'm gonna roll with you forever. It's gonna be us, man. We squad forever. We the crew. It's gonna be us against the world. Well, guess what, man? We tried that. We went across the world, and you didn't have my back when all you had one job, as they say, one job. All you had to do was not have cake and go in the brother's face. All you had to do was check the number all the time. All you had to do was when I say, pass me that thing, I need that hat, that shirt, it's there before I can finish the sentence. That's a real squad. That's a real entourage. If your people ain't rolling with you like that, you're not ready for where you at. And you're there. And yeah, I get a little passionate about it because I wish I had that kind of money. I'll show you what to do with it, baby. You want to see what to do when you getting $3 million a month? Oh, you ain't seen shit. They'd be like, who the fuck is that coming to town? Is there a presidential escort today? I did not know. I think so. They say he's the president of the state. ONYXCON? ONYXCON? Yes, ONYXCON. Oh, wow. Let's try to follow. Oh, no. There's no following. Complete blockade. Goddamn. You want to seek counsel with the king? It's going to be some borders. That's what time it is, young buck. But I hope you, I want your path to be blessed, and I pray your safety, man. Because you deserve better, and I hope your mind grows and you learn some real respect about how you got to move and deal, because you on the way. You already there, but you on the way to some other levels you can't even fathom, because the whole world is talking about you. When you become known for your money and this money-driven bullshit, the vultures are out, and they ain't the ones you've been used to. You done dealt with it. You met some major celebrities, a couple of grown-ass women done whispered in your ear, I want to give you some ass. That's whatever. That's expected. And even that's enough to fuck your head up at 21. But wait till the people who you do think would have respect for you don't, and show you their ass. Or when the contracts start getting funny and everybody wants to kind of dictate how you're going to be seen, and you can't even have a voice in what you're doing anymore, and suddenly you're not cooning enough for them. And the stuff you did thinking it was funny is now you're forced to do it. You're like, man, I'm growing up. I don't even want to do that no more. Well, I guess we're going to pull our contract with you because we need you to do that. Every time you go out there, we need you to do that. You got to be careful, because you can make your own prison with your own fame. Peace and bless, y'all. Universe bless. ONYXCON. Respect first, then power, then money.